What is up? What is up with police and things of that nature going to the wrong houses?
A Florida sheriff has released body cam footage of the events that led to the death of a U.S. Air Force senior airman, Roger Fortson, who was shot and killed in his own apartment by a deputy last week. National correspondent Dan Grossman has more.
The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Department in Florida released body camera footage Thursday, nearly a week after a sheriff's deputy shot and killed 23-year-old active duty airman Roger Fortson. The family's attorney, Ben Crump, said at a press conference Thursday, before the body camera video's release, the deputy barged into the wrong apartment. Body camera video shows a neighbor who did not call 911 discussing which apartment with the deputy.
Saying that it happens frequently,
okay,
but this time it sounded like it was getting out of hand.
Okay, which door?
No, I'm not sure. 2 weeks ago, I was walking by their apartment, basically, on this side, and I was hearing someone yell, like, shoot the up, like, you stupid B word and all this other stuff, and I heard a slap, like, right after it, but I wasn't sure where it came from, and I couldn't call, I didn't want to call the police, and,
Which room is it?
1401.
The deputy then goes to the apartment and knocks. Crump said earlier Fortson was on a FaceTime call with his girlfriend. Crump questioned whether the officer blocked the peephole so Fortson couldn't see. Body camera footage shows him stepping out of view of the door. He then knocks again, announcing himself, and steps back into the hallway. He knocks a third time. That's when Fortson opens the door. His hand appears to be raised in a stop motion and is almost immediately shot. Crump said Fortson had a legally owned gun on him, but it wasn't drawn when he opened the door. Fortson was shot 6 times. Dan Grossman, Scripps News.
Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who is representing the family, joined Scripps News last night. He says the deputy didn't give Fortson a chance to comply to orders to step back and just started shooting.
In a split second, the deputy doesn't say, drop the weapon, doesn't say, put your hands up. He tells him to step back, and that's exactly what Roger, this decorated United States Airman, does. He follows authority. He respects law enforcement. He steps back, Marissa, and immediately, he unloads on him.
Crump went on to say Fortson was even compliant as he laid on the ground dying, listening to the officer's command to toss the gun.
It's always a wrong house. Then you want to dispute it because you know it's somebody else's fault. It's not only the person who went to the house's fault, because y'all need to. First of all, you go. What's her name? Somebody, we gotta, Breonna Taylor, that's her name. Breonna Taylor. How do you go, you break into this man's house at night. This man has to be a man to protect his people. His wife, himself, whoever else is in the house. I don't care if them niggas was selling weed. They could have been selling whatever. Y'all wasn't supposed to be at that house. Then once you shoot the girl, oh, she's dead. It's done. Like, nah, bro. That ain't how that go. It's not how that go. Now we got another situation where somebody probably not even supposed to be there.
Warn you, some of the footage you're about to see is disturbing. CNN's Nick Valencia reports.
Newly obtained police dispatch audio reveals the first call came in around 4 p.m. on May 3rd about a physical disturbance in progress. Around 4:29 p.m., the 4-minute police body camera video begins with an Okaloosa County, Florida sheriff's deputy arriving on the scene.
Saying that it happens frequently, but this time it sounded like it was getting out of hand.
A woman at the complex tells the deputy she heard yells and a slap coming from the apartment 2 weeks ago, but wasn't sure exactly where it came from. Eventually, she directs the deputy to 4th floor apartment 1401, the home of 23-year-old senior airman Roger Fortson, saying the girl who made the call about the physical disturbance sounded scared. At 4:31 p.m., the deputy knocks once without introducing himself. Roughly 30 seconds later, he knocks again twice. A warning, what you're about to see over the next 20 seconds is graphic.
Step back.
Just wait the fuck in it though. Like, wait. What the? What is going? Oh, I see the gun in his hand. Why do you have that nigga? Boy, he lost his shit. He lost his shit.
A warning, what you're about to see over the next 20 seconds is graphic.
Step back.
Cause you got too much. You do this job every day. You see the craziest shit you can see. You dealing with crazy people pulling out, don't want to go back to jail. And you see somebody answer the door with the gun and you snap. On the other side of the door, it could have been somebody who's probably in you. You don't know who's he expecting, who he got problems with. And as a black man, it's kind of normal to answer the door with your gun. You just really always got to be ready, honestly. Don't ask us why, especially if you ain't never grow up in certain conditions. You don't know what the hood is. You don't know what an op is. Especially if you don't know what an op is. It's perfectly normal for a black man to answer that door with his pistol. Just safety. Once you see that it's an officer, he probably trying to figure out what's going on. The fact that it probably was the wrong apartment. You got somebody beating at the door.
Fortson, who appears in the body camera video to have a lowered firearm in his right hand, was shot 6 times to the chest. He survived the initial shooting.
312, get EMS my location.
But was later pronounced dead at the hospital.
My baby was my everything. Roger was my third son. Where we come from, you don't end up where Roger end up.
Adding to their pain, Fortson's family believes deputies went to the wrong address.
You know what's crazy is you go, first of all, adding to the pain, you wasn't even at the right location. Of course, to the door with the gun. This is why whoever sends him to the location that is wrong should be out with, bro. Cause this can happen. But you go to the military. You go to be an airman. You could have been killed so many times out there to come back to the U.S. and get killed on fucking accident.
A claim that the sheriff disputed while defending his deputy's actions. Ben Crump, Natalie Jackson, and Brian Barr.
I don't even blame the deputy, bro. Because you go through so... Of course, you tripped the... You need to be 10 foot away from the damn door. Close to the door and you so damn trigger happy, fuck. He probably... Dude was probably just waking up. They all down there want to cry. Dude was probably just waking up. You know what I'm saying? The nigga could have been taking a shit. Could have been watching a scary movie. And you just hear all this. He probably didn't even hear the sheriff officer, bro. Whoever the sent him to the wrong address. The wrong address.
Represent the family. They say the initial police statement was misleading. and left out key details of the shooting.
It makes you think this happened outside. That this kid was in the middle of a disturbance. And he did something. He instigated this and lost his life. That's what it makes it sound like. It sounded like justified.
We are aware of a press release and other comments that falsely state our deputy entered the wrong apartment and imply that they burst through the door into Mr. Fortson's residence.
During the shooting, the airman was on a FaceTime call with his girlfriend, who Crump says told him there was never a disturbance at Fortson's home. Crump says Fortson had been home alone just 30 minutes before the deputy arrived. He heard 2 knocks at the door, and when he couldn't see anyone through the peephole, Crump said, citing the girlfriend, then Fortson grabbed his gun, which Crump said he legally owned. In the girlfriend's FaceTime video, we hear Fortson struggle to breathe after the shooting as he lies on the floor, bleeding out. The deputy is now on paid administrative leave while the Florida Department of Law Enforcement investigates. The state attorney's office in Okaloosa County tells me that they are going to wait for the FDLE to finish their investigation before they decide whether to pursue charges. I did get in touch with the chief assistant state attorney there in the county, who tells me that he did see the video, but he refused to comment, adding that it's too early for them to do anything with the case. He also said that there's no expected timeline as to when the FDLE will wrap their investigation. Nick Valencia, CNN, Atlanta.
All right, joining me now to talk more about this tragic shooting is Derek Johnson. He is the president of the NAACP. Derek, great to see you. So, I mean, from Roger Fortson's family to his attorneys, I mean, this is upsetting for many reasons. How do you see this?
Well, another example of when you don't have any accountability metrics for police officers to de-escalate scenarios. But in this case, the question is, what crime was committed? What crime was allegedly committed? And there was no crime. He simply was seeking to answer the door of a police knock. And at some point, we must, as a society, determine the type of nation we would like to be as opposed to what's taking place. In 2023, we had a 10-year high.
Who does he tell to step back? Rest in peace, big bro.
Of police-involved shootings of individuals. Significant number of those individuals were African Americans, and a large number of those individuals were unarmed. When will we stop this madness and address this public policy fiasco where we are allowing law enforcement officers just to kill people and never be held accountable?
Right.
This body cam.
Can't even intelligently speak on this situation, bro. I'm mad niggaless. And you got it, man.
Reveals the deputy knocked on the door at this Fort Walton Beach apartment that a neighbor, as we saw in Nick Valencia's piece, pointed out, but seemingly with uncertainty. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement, FDLE, is going to investigate while the Okaloosa County Sheriff's deputy, who is unnamed, is on leave. Does this feel urgent or transparent enough to you?
It is completely untransparent. First of all, you have a neighbor who heard an argument, a domestic disturbance between two people who were familiar with one another. That person never stated, based on what's been shared publicly, that there was...
Because of her nose ass. Oh, I think I heard, and they do this often, but it's all this.
Violence that rose to the level of armed deadly force. Secondly, he was home alone. This neighbor had the wrong apartment. And thirdly, the girlfriend was on FaceTime with him. What crime did he commit to cause this officer to use deadly force? It is legal for an individual to have a firearm in their home. It is legal for someone like him to actually have an altercation so long as no one's life is at risk. And there's no evidence that the apartment that was called was his apartment, and there's no evidence that anyone's life was at risk.
Do you have confidence in the FDLE leading this investigation?
That's not on the cool. I don't even think you gotta answer that out for the police. See, this is why I go to ChatGPT. Because all of these question sites and know your rights, and if you're stopped, I ask one simple question. The robot's going to talk to me back and tell me exactly what I need to know. Is it illegal to not answer the door for the police? One simple question. It's not inherently illegal to not answer the door for the police, but it's usually best to cooperate with the law enforcement unless you have a valid reason not to. However, laws can vary by jurisdiction, so it's a good idea to know your local laws regarding it. What about in Texas? In Texas, there isn't a specific law that mandates. So, okay, from now on, we're not opening that damn door. Since I can be shot 20 freaking times and I ain't doing nothing in my apartment at all, and somebody can call the police on another apartment, and then they knock on my apartment thinking that my apartment is their apartment, and then somebody who's scary, specifically, however, if they have a valid warrant, this is why if somebody's beating on your door, who is it? Okay, don't just open up door. Who is it and why are you here? Damn, that's crazy. So we ain't opening the door. You don't have to open the door for their ass.
Fortunately, we have a history in this nation where law enforcement agencies protect officers who commit these type of crime accountability. In fact, until we pass the George Floyd Police Reform Act, we're going to continue to see these same type incidents. That's why it's important to make sure
it's on the people who arguing when you should be in the Let's tell it how it is. Because you fortunate enough to have somebody who loves you. Your arguing and your loud fussing and fighting that got somebody killed. The nosy neighbor, whoever was on the dispatch, they like, what?
We have a Congress with enough courage to hold bad officers accountable, train good officers on how to de-escalate.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think the officer was even that bad.
Law enforcement officers cannot go from agency to agency and commit these heinous crimes.
All right, Derek Johnson, so glad you could be with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rest in peace to the Airman, man. Rest in peace to the Airman, dog.